Good morning, Uncle Mustilala.
Good morning, Dayo. How are you?
How's your night?
It was okay.
I'm fine. Thank God it's Friday. What are your plans for today?
It's weekend, so the weekend is starting today. So we'll plan towards evening time. We'll plan for the main weekend.
And make sure you enjoy yourself this weekend.
And
make sure you rest and make sure you exercise yourself.
I will. No, it's basic.
The more you get older, the more you take care of yourself more and more. Now let's go to top happenings making headlines on the front pages of Nigeria's Daily. I will begin with the Punch. The federal government and the People's Democratic Party on Thursday exchanged words over a report by the National Bureau of Statistics in which it was stated that Nigeria's gross domestic product grew by 3.4% in 2021, the highest in 7 years. Now, Guardian reports that the gloves have been won and the fight for who controls the ruling All Progressives Congress APC in Osun State promises to be bloody, literally. The mud fight may have already been brought to the doorstep of the national leader of the party and presidential hopeful Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Now, Vanguard. Well, according to Vanguard, indications emerged yesterday that the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, has filed an application in court for the extension of the detention of embattled Deputy Commissioner of Police Abba Kyari and 4 other suspects involved in the 25-kilogram cocaine deal. Now, The Nation. Efforts to end the disagreement over the zoning of the People's Democratic Party PDP presidential ticket in next year's election by its governors failed to yield fruit at a retreat in Ghana earlier in the week. Now, Daily Trust. President Muhammadu Buhari is in a tight corner over whom to endorse as the national chairman of the All Progressives Congress APC, 8 days to the national convention of the ruling party. And that's all. Right now we're going on a quick break, and when we come back, we'll get to give you the news and details and also discuss and analyze some other news updates. Welcome back, everybody. Uncle Mustilala, isn't it worrisome to know that 8 days before the national convention of the APC, we're still having this confusion?
Yeah.
Isn't it so worrisome? I mean, what do you have to say about it?
Well, if you look at if you look at the past history regarding a convention of this magnitude, especially of the ruling party, you will now see that a week, even a month too, you could see serious activities. But at this particular time, some of us would not even believe whether APC's convention will hold next Saturday, because
it's more like they're not ready.
So it seems as if they have not really. But based on the Electoral Act, they must hold the convention. I think 21 days to. I've forgotten that particular section of the Electoral Act. but it must hold. You understand? It's something that it must hold. If it will not hold, probably they must have written to INEC to notify them that, look, this convention is not going to hold now, before INEC will give them approval. Otherwise, it will be against the law. You understand? So, but from all indication, it seems as if they are not ready to hold the convention.
And it's so worrisome.
It's so worrisome. Well, I believe it's part of intrigues within the party, inter-party politics. You understand? First of all, they're talking about zoning. You understand? Because there are a lot of power play within, technicalities involved. If it is zoned to a particular zone, it means presidential aspirant will not come from there. Neither would the VP come from there. You understand? So there are a lot of internal politics within. So far from the rumor, what we are hearing is that it has been zoned to North Central to produce the chairman of the party. You understand? If it is zoned to the North Central to produce the chairman of the party, it means the presidential aspirant will come from the South. Then the vice president will come from the Northwest. You understand? Then they know how to divide it, but from all indication up to now, there is no sign that that convention will hold coming Saturday. You understand? So I think President Muhammadu Buhari is not just a president, and he's not just leader of the party. He's a statesman. He was a statesman before becoming civilian president. So he should be able to at least galvanize and put all the dissenting factions together and provide that leadership. That is how PDP were able to rule for good 16 years. At a crucial time, the then president, be it Yaradua or Obasanjo or even Jonathan, they exert that power within the party. You understand? Every politician have his own personal ambition. You understand? So it starts from that individual politician to a collective politician, to a block of politicians. So you discover within the party they have factions. You understand? So if it doesn't favor your own faction, they will fight it, and that is why you see so many intrigues. So far, the people vying for this thing, you have Governor Tanko Almakura, former Governor Tanko Almakura of Nasarawa. You have Sani Musa, Senator Sani Musa from Niger. I think these are the two major frontline contenders. So,
I think we have another one, say Alimodu
Sharif, who was a former chairman of PDP and now in DC. All of them, they are there. But so far,
I mean, you could have a signboard around that Dantata.
Yeah, they have
so big.
So big. They have a billboard here and there, and there. So far, they have done their own homework. You understand? But homework is not alone. Doesn't count. What counts is who is enjoying the support of the presidency. When you see such a convention, not dangling here and there. You understand? It's all about the support. The governors of the party, they are on their own. Some other groups too, they are on their own. The presidency too is on its own. So you understand? So at the end of the day, they should remember that they are the ruling party. You understand? Whether Nigerians like it or not, whether they love APC or not, or they like APC or not, APC as a ruling party must be there. That is part of democracy. You understand? Whether Nigerians like it or not, PDP as a opposition party must be there, and other opposition. That is the multi-party system that we are practicing. So all of them must play that politics to give Nigeria what it wants.
Okay, thank you so much, Uncle Mustilala, for that. Well, another one, and this is from the Nigerian police. 2 days ago, Abba Kyari had blamed the indigenous people of Biafra for being the cause of his predicament. Well, the Nigerian police has come out, that the police panel has come out to say that he should not blame IPOD for his travels. A probe panel set up by the Inspector General of Police has slammed the former head of the Intelligence Response Team, IRT, Abba Kyari, over a comment on his travels. Well, it was reported that the embattled Super Corps had alleged that the members of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOD, are behind this predicament due to the raid against them in the south. Yes, well, that's so. That looks so somehow.
That is petty talk.
Yes, well, it was learned that the.
You see, the fact is that it seems as if the way Amana will run Nigeria, we are not serious. You understand? You understand? Someone you are talking about an offense of a law enforcement officer being seen discussing about concealing amount of drugs, and all you could say is some other this behind your
predicament.
Your predicament is laughable. You understand? But it's because all this is coming out because we're unserious. You understand? A serious nation. Take for instance, like in US now, you discover that somebody, if Abba Kyari happened to be a US citizen or a law enforcement officer in the US, and such evidences are found with him, then he will not say the certain people are behind him. So it's just because of our own nature of society here. Otherwise, to me, it's laughable. I don't even want to even go into that. You understand? A law enforcement officer, as if I'm sorry to say this, it sounds as if he has some kind of a mental instability. You understand? Can you say, okay, the video evidence that NDLA presented, who was there? He was the one doing the talking. You understand? He initiated that meeting. You understand? It's not like a setup. You understand? When somebody is being set up, is that somebody will initiate it. But in this case now, he initiated it, starting with a call, inviting the NDLA officer to a particular spot, I think in area 11 also. So whereby the law enforcement officer now, the NDLA officer now came, and they went inside the car, and they were discussing. And we saw means of money, you understand, be exchanged. So you understand, it's not like he was set up. You know, when someone was set up, you now said, okay, you can accuse the people that set you up. But in this case now, he was not set up. He initiated the process. You understand? If there was a setup, it means the people involved, that is the NDLA, they were not too comfortable with what he was saying. They now make it went public with it. So the aspect of saying what is the name, IPOD or ESN, it sounds so petty for a man of his caliber to dwell in that.
Well, thank you so much, Uncle Mr. for that. Well, President Muhammadu Buhari has condemned a rise in ritual killings and deadly attacks against on-duty policemen and ethnic minorities. Well, according to reports, such incidents have recently been reported in Enugu, Imwabia, Zamfara, and Ogun states. Well, President Muhammadu Buhari, in a statement by his media aide Garba Shehu, said incidents of ritual killings, hate crimes, and killing of law enforcement officers are aberrations. In expressing the sympathy of the nation to families of all the victims, Buhari urged law enforcement agencies, state government, local authorities, communities, and religious leaders to take all lawful actions to prevent further incidents of this nature and put in place. President Muhammad Buhari said the killings in the name of rituals, political agitations, and tribal hatred are not in keeping with the tenets of our religions and of the civilized and enlightened culture we are all claiming to be, adding that no person has the right to take the law in his or own hands. Furthermore, Buhari re-emphasized the need for all Nigerians to be their brother's keeper and should see any attack, be it verbal or physical or on anyone, as an attack on the very essence that keeps us as a nation measures against the normalization of this primitive act, hate, crimes, and acts of terror. Well, the president is trying to say that we should be our brother's keeper. I think that's what's number one thing we actually lack in this nation. And I'll achieve this out also. You see someone dying outside. Instead of you to get help immediately, you get to pick up your phone and begin to record it. I mean, there are so many incidents, like, you know that this person is going to fall into a ditch. Instead of you've seen it even before the person, instead of you to protect the person, you wait for the incident to happen before before you do anything. It's very, very tiring.
Yeah, it's tiring. You understand? The fact is that it's not the aspect of law. It's about the enforcement of the law. Nigeria has enough laws regarding killing, regarding murder, regarding extermination of lives, you understand? Regarding assassination or whatever we call it, you understand? But you discover that our law is suffering problem of enforcement. That is why people takes law into their hands and kill, understand? Whether you kill for ritual or you kill for, like, I believe the Garba Shehu is speaking the mind of Buhari in respect of what happened in Abia some days ago, that a cattle market was relocated from the old site to a new site. Then overnight, some persons now came and exterminated the cattle dealers and killed them, eight of them. Abia state government issued a press statement regarding that and called for calm as they will conduct the investigation into the matter. Be it hate killing or whatever killing, is as a result of lack of deterrence. If the government had used previous killing as an example and set example of what will befall an offender, by now everybody will be afraid of killing. The aspect of you are talking about, you said, okay, it's just aspect of that human feeling, which is more or less like a common sense, that as a human being you should feel for your fellow human being. If you see that person in a pitiable situation to the point of death, you should first of all rescue him or her before you talk about hyping through a video, this thing. But I mean, any society that doesn't have law, whereby people take law into their hand, get up, pick up arms, kill the persons, not one, not two, not three, even if it's only one soul, you don't make that soul. The number one part, the first part of the constitution, after the aspect of we the people of Nigeria, you talk about securing of lives of Nigeria wherever they are, whether securing lives of Nigeria living in Nigeria and whoever is residing in Nigeria, you must secure their lives. But you look at the manner we kill ourselves here, it's so disturbing. It's so disturbing,
and it's more terrible than ever.
It's becoming alarming every day, Dayo. You understand? If you are talking about bandits, they are doing their own. If you go to the southeast, you talk about southeast now. You talk about young men getting up overnight and pick up arms and go after police. Once there is no police, they are talking about anarchy, because you understand, police are crucial part of the apparatus of the state. If they don't want them, it means they are calling for anarchy. You understand? So the level of killing is becoming too much, and it's high time the government must wake up to exert the influence and show that they are in government. You understand? If lives of Nigerians are not secured, it means we don't have a nation. That is where we're heading to. You understand? If we don't have law and order, it means we don't have a nation. Understand? So government should rise up. And
our religious houses, yes, too. It's very important. It's very key to begin to hammer on all of this. Not just being your brother's keeper, but conduct. Because there's so many people out there that are carrying hatred in them.
Yes.
Even if you are a church goer or a mosque goer and all, and that hatred is still in you, you wouldn't know when one day you will set aside the fact that you're a church goer and all, and begin to do what is in your mind.
Yes.
So I think, aside from the fact that we have a law and we need to enforce the law, our religious bodies, our religious houses should really hammer on.
No nation, once a nation dwell on that nation is heading towards anarchy. You understand? Take for instance like a developed nation like US. You understand? If the government is weak, you discover that the blacks that are even the minority, they will not exist. But since there is law, the white supremacists, they cannot come after the black. Then you talk about some other minorities living in the US. So it's all about law and order.
Yeah.
Law and order is the foundation of every nation. Once there's no law and order, that nation is in a state of anarchy. You understand? Our laws and order, there must be law and order. You see, if you are traveling from here to Katsina, until you arrive at your destination, your people will be worried. If you are traveling from here to just Kaduna alone, until you arrive at your destination, your people will be worried. Your loved ones will be worried. You understand? If you are heading towards south, from here to Lokoja, people will be worried. So is that the kind of thing that we want? People will just get up overnight and say, okay, they are bandits. And up to now, none of them has been arrested and put in prosecuted and jailed. You understand? For the crime, to me, their crime is a crime against humanity. You understand? When you have people, you kill certain people from here to here, you abduct them, you collect money. It's more than a normal criminality. You understand? By now, government is supposed to have set an example. You understand? By the time they set an example, those criminals, on their own, they will renounce their criminality. The essence of law is deterrent. You understand? The essence of law is to be able to, that law should be stiff enough whereby to deter people from committing act of crime. You understand? That is what we are not seeing here. So it's every time the president is issuing press statement regarding killing, and the killing continue. You understand?
Say, I would like to bring this Abba Kyari case into this right now.
Yeah.
You know, the reason why people will keep on, as the minorities or the citizens of Nigeria will keep on, some of them will keep on doing the wrong, will keep on going against the law. The reason why they will keep on doing it is because when a government personnel offends, what do they do about it? Now, Abba Kyari case, imagine the Nigerian police disciplinary committee saying they should, demote him to assistant
commissioner of police.
I mean,
a step.
With all that he has done,
you understand?
The case of Hush Puppy, and this case again,
and this one again.
And you're saying they should, if a minority or a layman or
instead of asking for dismissal,
a youth in Nigeria, a youth in Nigeria, if a youth in Nigeria does the same thing, I mean, it will be all over. I mean, like they should just end his life.
Well, the truth is that, Dayo, we have two laws. The official laws meant for the people of the elites, and the other law meant for the commoners. The law is more effective when you are a commoner on commoners than on the elites. You understand? Take the case of Abba Kyari that you mentioned now. I believe that until NDLA case now came up, the police authority, they were like playing some tricks with the FBI case. And you know what? They were like doing that. Even his suspension, the so-called suspension, was just a mere pronouncement. But in the real sense, Abba Kyari was carrying out his duty. That is what it means. So it means we are condoning act of corruption in Nigeria. So the aspect of you see, when a commoner flouts that part of law, the law will descend on him. You understand? But that's when an elite commits even more grievous offense than what that commoner did. You discover that the law will be bent to favor that. It's part of what we are saying. You understand? The law should bite. Law shouldn't be a respecter of anybody.
No man.
You understand? The only, like, okay, take for instance like US, you discover that no matter your position, even someone like ex-president Trump, up till now, they are still looking for where. Okay, the recent cases, because there's what they call memos, letters signed by the ex-president or the previous president. They must avail the general public to the document that they used during their time, which will be stored in their archive, so that people will have access to them. But what they're now saying is that President Trump left with some of those documents, or he destroyed them, including memos. You understand? So they are not saying that, they are not trying to look into aspect of the law, whether he has done something against the law. You can imagine. But here, you can see somebody, only one person will take care. The last time I read out in the paper, somebody property worth over 39 billion was traced to a retired general. You understand? People do whatever thing they like, because our law, the implementation and the enforcement seems to be bendable. And when that law is bendable, what we have forgotten to understand is that once we make it bendable, the law, once we make the laws bendable to favor us, one day you will leave the scene. And once you leave the scene, that same law too will come after you. So, but the consequences is that we are bearing the consequences. And that is why you see killing here and there. You understand? Because when you cannot show an example to use somebody as a scapegoat, then other people are seeing. And that is why you see killing here and there. People will wake up and say ritual killing, they kill. People will wake up, say they abduct people on the road.
Well, the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Aja Sadia Umaru Farouk, says the 5,000 naira conditional cash transfer by the Muhammadu Buhari government to some Nigerians is significant to their welfare and well-being. She submitted that the fact that some people don't see the money as important does not mean the beneficiaries don't appreciate it. According to her, some of the beneficiaries are so poor that they have never seen 5,000 naira before and shed tears when the money is given to them. The minister made the submission on Thursday while speaking with State House correspondents during a press briefing organized by the presidential media team. She said the cash transfer is part of the plans by the Muhammadu Buhari administration to lift 100 million Nigerians from extreme poverty. This last part got me choked. I mean, I was choked when I saw this last part. I mean, how can you say that this cash transfer is a part of plans by the Muhammadu Buhari administration to lift 100 million Nigerians from extreme poverty? I mean, I was asking you this morning, this 5,000 naira, is it every month? Is it every month they give them?
No.
You told me that it's once a year. I mean, how can you lift somebody out of extreme poverty with 5,000 naira a year? It doesn't make any sense.
You see, if you observe very well, if you are an economist, or you are somebody within the financial sector, you could see that President Muhammadu Buhari administration doesn't have economic agenda. I'm sorry to say this. You understand? First of all, when he came in, he had an economic blueprint called ERGP, Economic Growth and Recovery Program, which this social intervention program that Hadia Sadia is pioneering is talking about, is part of the economic recovery agenda, that of President Muhammadu Buhari. Analysts, professionals, and experts from the beginning, they faulted it because it doesn't sound reasonable to say, okay, direct cash transfer. Yes, Nigerians are suffering, but the direct cash transfer is not too encouraging. You understand? You can only do direct cash transfer in a situation whereby the economy is in recession. When the economy is in recession, it means the economy has contracted, and government need to give money to people to spend so that to keep the economy floating. You understand? So in that case, government can decide on direct cash transfer. Government can decide on increase in salaries so that there will be a higher income for people to spend money. All about recession is about spending money. You understand? Because recession means the economy contracted. When the economy contracted, one of the solutions is to pump money. Whether you like it or not, government will say that you take 100,000. Out of that 100,000, you again, you think about a tailor to give you fantastic Ankara like this. You spend money. When you spend, that person you are spending to, he too in turn will spend. So, and the economy will keep going. You understand? But in this case, we are talking about extreme poverty. That extreme poverty, you are giving somebody 5,000. What do we mean by extreme poverty? Extreme poverty is when somebody cannot afford to feed thrice in a day, which is basic. Extreme poverty means when somebody is living below $1 per day, because there is a United Nations recommendation that every human being must spend like $100 in a day. You understand? That $100 in a day now, it means somebody's the minimum wage in Nigeria now. You understand? So the poverty is so alarming, and the federal government is saying they are doing direct cash transfer. But there's something that will surprise you with. Whenever there is election is approaching, that is when they will now wake up with their social intervention program. So you understand? They will now start going to the market. They're saying they are giving people 10,000 naira. They call it part of the economic recovery agenda. You understand? I mean, let's be sincere with ourselves. Today now, someone that is let's talk about the minimum wage. The minimum wage, which is 30,000 naira. A bag of rice is how much now? A bag of rice goes between 25 to 30,000 naira, which it means that minimum wage has gone. It means the income is weak. Then government on its own again, they keep on slamming Nigerians with more taxes. It means that 5,000 naira is nothing but zero to that person that they are giving that 5,000 naira. If you want to eat today in Nigeria today now, even in Buka, this we popularly call them Mama Put. If you go to Mama Put today now, that is a roadside thing now. The per plate of food now is 500 naira. That is in some places. If you go to a place like Lagos, the popular under the bridge in the Balende that we used to eat amala. Today now, if you go there now under the bridge in Balende from under the bridge, Mama Put, the minimum per plate that you can see there is between 700 naira. That is only one meat. But when they add orishirishi for you, you are getting it for 1, 2. You understand? So, and the minister is coming out publicly to say, look, we are giving cash transfer of 5,000 naira.
To lift people. To
lift people out of poverty.
No, not just poverty, extreme poverty.
Extreme poverty. So how is that possible? So you understand? It seems as if, I'm sorry to say this, it seems as if she doesn't even know what the direct cash transfer is aimed at. It means the direct cash transfer doesn't have objective. You understand? It means the government doesn't know what they are doing. You understand? Such policy of saying, okay, we have, though it's just one part of the social intervention program of the government. There are some other ones. What is the other? Empower is part of it. Then anchor borrowers is part of it. Anchor borrowers is part of the CBN scheme. So, and all now come into the poverty fighting. You understand? So, but the aspect of school feeding again, this feeding of school people is still part of it. But it seems as if the government doesn't even know what they are doing. You understand? They are shouting about money. Why can't they do it this way? Identify the people that requires direct cash transfer. You understand? If you are saying these are the extreme poor, that is within the poor, then there are also some that extremely poor. These are people that are lacking what to eat. Instead of that direct cash transfer, why don't you do it this way? Provide them the basic necessity. Identify them. That is, first of all, you identify them first. you talk about the aged, because those ones are already aged, they cannot produce anything for themselves again. So otherwise, the other particular group that are extremely poor, Nigeria is seen as an agrarian economy, whereby create farming scheme with soft loan that their money will be going directly to the farmers, and they will produce what Nigerian can eat. You understand? But it's a situation whereby all they keep saying is that the agricultural scheme, anchor borrowers and some other this thing, at the end of the day, money is being released, but the target group for the money, they don't get the cash. Where is the money going? So that is why you see the poverty keep on being existing on an incremental level, instead of reduction in the poverty, whereby the government is scoring itself that look, we have succeeded in reducing poverty. That is according to government, but according to some other independent findings, Nigeria has slided, 20 million Nigeria has slided into multi-dimensional poverty. You understand? So to me and to some other Nigerians outside there, they just believe that this social intervention program is just a conduit for the government to disburse and some people to steal from it. You understand?
Yes, I mean, how many?
Even when we are in lockdown, this so-called minister, she said they were feeding the school children. There was lockdown. The children were at home, but she said they were giving them food.
Oh. I just think the government should be
the more you look, the less you understand.
I mean, the government should be sanitized. We really have some strange things going on in the government. And it needs to be sanitized.
One of my friends, an accountant, he said, look, that what Nigeria need is they should just pack the whole of Nigerians away from here, take them to another part of the planet, then fumigate the space here, then you bring us back. The fact is that whether you take Nigerians away from here, fumigate here, bring us back again, the corruption will still continue.
It will still continue. It's not Nigeria that is the problem, it's the people in the government.
We just need change of mind. We need the reorientation.
You're there, you're putting on nice clothes and under the AC and this and that, and you come out to say that you are lifting people out of extreme poverty with 5,000 naira. That's so unfair.
Yeah.
That's why we really need to pray, and many of us, many Nigerians and many youth that really have the good of the nation.
Let me tell you why they are getting it wrong. This same minister, she said it, that look, there are some Nigerians, and they interviewed them quite okay. Yes, it's not all about what those people are saying, but it's about the government doing the right thing. You understand? If you allow Nigerians now to say, okay, even that budget that you are hearing, that the budget they have budgeted 17 trillion, Nigerians will tell you that bring that 17 trillion, share it for everybody, so that everybody don't do any development project. You understand? You understand? So when they are saying that because you give somebody 5,000 and that person is happy, does that solve that person's problem?
It doesn't.
In fact, if that person want to live the normal life, that's why we have a United Nations recommendation to say, okay, every human being must live above $100 in a day. You understand? It's a standard around the world. Some nations, they now use that as a benchmark to design their economic program, to design the well-being of their people. But in our own case, we ignore all those things. You understand?
The thing is that when they do something to Nigeria and they want to get feedback. Now, the question I want to ask is that how do they get their feedback? Is it just that they will just go to a town?
They'll just
go to a town
and manage feedback
and look for people to just say, hey, people with the government, this and that.
Dayo, you now, when you drop your camera, you decide to go out on your own from here to Nyanya. You, by the time you just stand and say, okay, you seek people's opinion, they will tell you exactly how they are feeling, and they will give you their perception regarding Nigeria, which is objective. Yes. But a situation whereby a minister will now go a month to that town hall meeting, they will allocate money, do budgetary allocation, and money approved, channel the money to there. Now disburse money to people, and the people now they will interview are the people that they have already tutored on what to say, just for camera sake. You understand? So would they use that one? When you use that one as a feedback, you continue to get a faulty plan, and that is why we are suffering today.
I mean, a few days ago, I went out to the streets to get some information about to just seek the public opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, Nigerians are sad. Some of them don't even want to speak because I try to.
They're tired of speaking.
They're tired of speaking. They say when they speak, the same thing keeps happening, and they keep talking, and they're tired of talking.
The fact is that the only thing that is disturbing Nigerians now is the issue of insecurity. We have already given up to say, okay, you see, it's bad, but who do you blame? Do you blame Nigerians or you blame the leadership? It's the leadership.
It's the leadership.
Understand? When you have Nigerians, they have given up on their country. The only thing they feel about their country is that nobody should trample on their own right, and them too, they will not trample on another person's right. They keep going. If they can have that money, they buy what they eat. If they don't have that money to buy that what they will eat, they will look for alternative. You understand? And will keep going. That is not how a nation is supposed to operate. But who do you blame? It's the absence of leadership, absence of visionary leadership that put us where we are. And it's not good. A situation whereby you have your nation, you are not proud of your country. You are only proud of your country when there is a football. When Nigeria is playing football with another nation, that is when the Nigerianism in us will come into play. You understand? It's not good.
Well, Mr. Musti, what do you have to say about labor going on strike due to fuel scarcity?
Excuse me. Well, to me, labor is a pressure group. Understand? Before now, during the military regime, labor puts government, the military junta, into check. You understand? Even apart from labor too, there are some other, like they call them Catholic secretariats, whereby the like of Okoji came from there, Machikuka, he came from there too. So they play active role in shaping the destiny of Nigeria during the military regime. You understand? But you discover that all those ones now is like some of them they have aged. They are not doing anything again. Then you have labor. But if you look at labor, there are pressure group. You understand? There are union for the workers, but as well as pressure group. The workers are part of the stakeholders in Nigeria. So if they are like is it proposing or they have already decided on the going?
No, they've not decided.
So it's long overdue for them to put government into check. You understand? Because if you look at what is happening today now, nobody can tell you exactly what is happening. You understand? You only see long queue in the fuel station. You only see that long queue. You see, go to some fuel station, it's only one pump that is selling, whereby they have more than 10 pumps. It means if they are having shortage in supply, distribution, we should know that fuel stations are having shortage in distribution. Initially, what the government is telling us is that NNPC is telling Nigerians is that they imported adulterated fuel. According to NNPC, some independent marketers were behind it. Independent marketers are behind it, and Nigerians are suffering, are bearing the brunt of this thing. Up to now, nothing was done about it. All we keep seeing is long queue, and people are suffering. The black market today goes between 500 naira to 700 naira. Depending on the city.
And do you know that because of this fuel scarcity, some people are now working from home, like some offices,
yes,
some organizations.
They have to work from
tell
because
their workers to stay back
because the suffering is becoming alarming. You understand? So what are we saying? Labor, NLC, and TUC and other organized labor, they should put government into check. They should pressurize them to do what is right. You understand? Otherwise, government will not. To me, if you ask me, government this scarcity was a pre-planned and designed. If you ask me, that is to my own understanding. To say okay, with a predetermined outcome, and what is the outcome? Hike in the price of PMS. You understand? At the end of the day, when the suffering becomes too much, government will now discover that fuel stations will be selling at every prices that they like. You understand? At the end of the day, government will now say, okay, for us to have a uniform price, that 162 is no longer feasible. Okay, let's look at 200 naira. Let's look at 300 naira. That is what they are aiming at. So NLC, TUC, and other labor union, they must wake up now. They are to me, let me just use it that they are our saving grace for now, because they are the organized pressure group. If they use a strike as a weapon, if they can use that, deploy that, the strike into action now, government will listen to them. Government will sit up and call them to say, okay, let's negotiate, let's dialogue on the way out. You understand? Instead of government doing what pleases them, because government can decide to say, okay, 300 naira per liter. At the end of the day, who is going to pay the 300 naira? It's you and I. That transporter will take from us. Because
of course they have reserved fuel for themselves.
Yes.
So it doesn't really affect them.
Both the food they eat in their house, their transport, everything, it comes from the government, from the taxpayers.
Too bad. Too bad. Too bad. Okay, thank you everyone for staying with us on Morning Briefing as Spheric TV. Thank you, Uncle Mustilala, for always being there to give us the analysis. I am Dayo Lujumo Ekuni. Do have a blessed day, and do not forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Click on the notification button to get updates whenever we're going on air and whenever we have some information to give you. And don't forget to follow us on all our social media handles at Aspheric News Facebook, at aspheric.news Instagram, and at Aspheric News Twitter. Bye.